All right, so this is a live hangout now. Give me a second for the video part to load up so I can pause it. I can still hear your babies on.
Well, she's gonna be running around, so
yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think we're about ready to go. Wait for the babies.
Just do it. You gotta go through. Power through.
And greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome back to the CAPMAX HYPECAST. This is episode 23. Our recording date is Saturday morning, July 8th, 2017. So in the last episode, we figured we'd get this episode out a week after that. That was late April.
Yep.
So it's been a minute, busy adult lifestyles and all that. But hey, here we are, and there's still more Breath of the Wild talk we can go over, and we shall. And then after that, we might talk a little bit about the SNES Classic, and then maybe some of our highlights of E3 2017. And I think that sounds like a pretty reasonable video game podcast. So once again, I am joined by Austin and Essex. Gentlemen, how is it going this morning?
It's going very well.
So far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Up and almost sunny if there wasn't so much smoke in the sky.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that right now because it's time for a quick intros.
He's on fire!
He literally is.
He's living in NBA Jam.
He's boom shakalacking all over this program. Yeah, well, that's, damn, that is a segue if ever there was one. Essex, explain to the people who you are and what we're talking about, please.
All right, well, Essex, of course, you can find me on Twitter at EssexAlpha. I also do the Toycast with Steven here every week, bi-week, monthly, randomly.
Bi-monthly.
And what's going on in my neck of the woods is I'm in British Columbia, Canada, and there are wildfires burning everywhere around me. Luckily, not in my city yet, but they're really close. And we have lots of friends and family being evacuated from their homes. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. The sky is hazy brown. And yeah, it looks like a video game out there.
Oh, God.
Not a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
It doesn't look like the Mushroom Kingdom.
Hyrule Castle.
Unless someone's smoking mushrooms. Yeah, it's been in the news, a lot of local news. Of course, I am in BC, and we're not seeing any of that here on an island surrounded by water and all that. But yeah, it sucks. It's kind of a common thing, though. Big forest province, and yeah, things get dry, and hillbillies flick their cigarette butts, and then nothing but flames for days. And it is what it is. You'd hope people wouldn't do that, but here we are. So hopefully
always an apparent campfire, some yahoo throwing his cigarette butt out the window and causing a giant forest fire that causes millions upon millions of dollars in damages.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's Essex. Let us hope that he is able to survive this episode. And before we need to evacuate. Where are they evacuating? Are they going south, I guess?
Yeah,
all over?
Some south, there's some north. There's a couple wildfires burning around. There's a map here somewhere. But yeah there's like 4 of them close by. Yeah,
just make sure you've studied that map. Get in the car. Don't go that way. Another wildfire. It's not funny at all. Well, we've had AC from Game Life Balance Australia on before, and he too, like Australia, same sort of idea. Like they've had fires there before. They have fire tornadoes down in Australia, so that's no fun. Maybe that's what we have to look forward to here pretty soon. I don't know. A lot of wind spreading it, right? That's what I've been hearing.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
If I know anything from Zelda, it's that wind.
Yep.
Affects fire.
That's what I was thinking. I was gonna say Lionel's. It's getting too depressing. Let's talk about Austin and his babies and his impending.
Yeah.
Congratulations for all that. Thank you for the invite, by the way. I would go if I weren't a hobo.
Yeah. Not too much big video game stuff going on with me. Average Joe Gaming is kind of like on hold. Everything is on hold. I'm getting married in October, and almost all money is going towards that. So like, I can't get new equipment. Video games are a little less. I still manage to spend more money than I should on them.
Yeah. Well, you got Persona 5. That's been keeping you busy.
Yeah, for months and months.
I know. I see it. Yes.
And yeah, I mean, my daughter is probably being heard in the background. She's 2.5 and talking and yelling and playing and having a great old time.
Yeah, it's inevitable. But thanks for being here nonetheless.
No, thanks for having me.
My neighbors had the exact same thing. And they it's an apartment building. And there's a hall, and the kid just loves running up and down the hall and hanging out in the hall. And there's stairs there, and there's an elevator there, but it's okay because a kid loves that hall.
Don't deny the kids their fun.
I know.
Sooner or later, they will be adults and not be able to have fun.
You have any good parks around there?
Oh, there's tons of playgrounds and stuff, but you got to drive a little ways to get to the fancy, huge parks.
Yeah, I got to believe that's a good fun age for parks.
As someone who played at parks and playgrounds till he was like 25, parks are pretty awesome.
Parks are legit.
I was the tag master.
Oh,
I'd be jumping from slide to slide, tagging you, swinging underneath stuff you shouldn't be swinging under. It was great.
Here in Victoria, we have this really big park called Beacon Hill Park, and they used to have this playground back in my day, and it was like this huge slide. It was like 1.5 stories tall. This ridiculously tall structure, which was super awesome. But nowadays, every parent would be like, "Oh my god, that thing's way too dangerous. Everyone's gonna die," and all this stuff because a lot of kids can't handle life anymore. But man, that thing,
As a parent now, like whenever she goes to the park, my daughter, it's like, oh my god, she's gonna break her leg. Oh my god, should I let her go up there? I don't know. And then it's like, no, you gotta let her.
It's tricky, right? You gotta find that balance, and hopefully she'll find that balance and not fall off the slide. Different kind of balance. By the way, we don't have the soundboard anymore, so apologies if you're expecting a sad trombone or an applause because we don't have the button anymore. That's pretty good too.
It's pretty good.
Sounds like a kid too. All right, and so nothing going on the average Joe front. You guys were streaming not too long ago, right? Thought I saw something. It was over by the time I even got there.
Yeah, we were trying. Me and Will keep saying we're going to stream more, and then we don't. Yeah,
no, I know that feeling. Yep, busy out lifestyles. All right, well, very good. Did we mention where they can find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at AesopBeef, AesopB3EF.
Or their average Joe Gaming site, which has been it's up at least.
It's up. You can click on stuff.
Bad. Yeah. It's still one of my favorite podcasts when it exists. I need it now more than ever, Austin, because they had a segment where they would compare the PlayStation Plus games versus the Xbox Gold games, and I'm looking to maybe get one of those.
Yeah.
Pro gamer that I am, I now have a PS4 and an Xbox One, which is pretty sweet. But they're practically the same console. It's kind of tricky to tell them apart sometimes.
Yeah.
You really
every time I think about
both, but it's cool to have both, certainly.
Every time I think about getting an Xbox One, it's like, but why, really?
Yeah,
like, there's Forza. I want to play Forza, but other than that,
no, that's cool. Brian has an Xbox, right?
No, Will does.
Really?
Brian has a 360. And he bought a Wii U for Smash Brothers, and he played it like once.
Yeah. We've all been there. Alrighty. Well, good stuff. Thank you for being here today, gentlemen. And of course, I am Steven. Everyone, thank you for watching or listening to this latest episode of the CAPMAX HYPECAST. If you want to find me on Twitter, I am at Steven Eider. That's Steven with a V, EIDHER. If you want to see me streaming video games, you can check me out over on Twitch. That's at CAPMAX_gaming. And what's going on with me? Nothing. I have nothing to report. My job sucks. It's so hot out. I work outside. I got this baller ass tan, but I don't like having tans because it's like, I'm covered in sunscreen. It's gross. Ugh.
Show them the fan.
Okay. They've seen it. This is my Hudson Soft B fan. I might be using this. Hopefully it doesn't make a noise on the mic. I think sometimes it does. That's a good fan. It's a good time of day actually though, because the sun is over there, and then eventually goes over there, and then heat blares through the window, but not an issue right now. Actually, speaking of Brian, the next episode I still want to bring up the Labyrinth episode, or I was going to bring Brian and previously mentioned AC because we're all big Labyrinth fans, and that was an episode. If you thought this one was pushed back a few months, that episode was like supposed to happen a year ago or something. So that would be fun. And I was thinking I might even do a new spin-off called the CAPMAX Movie Cast, where once again it's not a crazy 3-4 hour epic event. It's just focusing very focused on the movie that we're talking about, and that's about it. Makes it easier for everyone because we're all busy, tough to get time. We're already wasting too much time now. So yeah, that might happen pretty soon. So look forward to that. Because who doesn't like to talk about movies? Yeah, it's good. Got to do a Prometheus episode, maybe a Goodfellas episode,
Baby Driver episode.
We were talking about Baby Driver yesterday too. We don't know what that is.
It's a good movie. That's what it is.
I just have to see it.
What is it then? Tell me. Tell everyone who doesn't know. Yeah,
it's like a heist movie, sort of, with the main character is a driver, and you kind of just follow his story. He's kind of this guy that's like an in-between. Like, he's a good guy, but he's in this crime world, and, conflicts arise because of that.
What makes him a baby?
People just call him Baby.
Okay. Because when I heard his name, I thought it was like Bruce Willis is a 2-year-old baby trapped in a high-speed sports car. Baby Driver.
I would love a sequel to Look Who's Talking, but
there is
I meant yet another sequel.
An update.
Look Who's Talking too. I'm always happy to see some retro movie talk sneak into these episodes. Good times. Good times.
John Travolta tries to make yet another comeback.
I could see that. I see. This is the Baby Driver I want to believe in. How does he reach the pedals? It doesn't matter. It's Baby Driver. Whoa!
He's just doing 360s through the air, shooting guns.
Oh no, Baby Driver's got a gun. Baby shooter. No. Alrighty.
That would get people in trouble in this day and
so
age.
80s.
Yeah. 80s. I know. That's what I wanted.
I know.
Now I'm disappointed. It's just a heist movie. Oh, it seems to be doing well.
No, it's really good. It's written and directed by Edgar Wright, who did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim. So if you're into that style of movie, it definitely has similarities.
At the World's End.
At World's End, yes, of course.
Yes, the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah. I like how Hermione is all badass in that. Very random.
Well, no.
All right. Well,
no, you're thinking End of the World or that one movie that it's like that one's different.
There's At World's End, which is the Simon Pegg one, and then there's The End Is Here or something.
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Well, that one, whatever.
It came out like the same time.
Are you thinking, is that the other one, the alien one? With aliens?
Yes, the alien one.
People are covering like goo aliens. Okay. That's fine. So normally in the show, we go through our intros and we go which one playing, which one watching. Then we usually take a recess. Then we do our Nintendo watch. And then we move on to the main topic. And then we might have some interesting news if there's time. Then we talk about what we're looking forward to. But, I mean, this episode is still kind of technically the second half of the last episode, which got broken up because of Google Hangout crashes. Hopefully that won't happen this time. Does anyone have any... Yeah, or fire or whatever. Whatever happens, happens. So prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Do we have any quick which one planes, which been watching you want to bring up?
Well,
Go.
I was going to say, Games Done Quick has been going on this week. It's a big charity speedrunning event. Today is the last day, but all the speedruns get uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch that. Mm-hmm. And they've raised over $1 million so far for charity. It's super fun. It happens twice a year, and I usually try to watch as much as possible. So this whole week has been watching speedruns from Mario Brothers to Half-Life to Titanfall, all things in between. It's pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't check it out all this time. Oh, just never clicked on it. And I do watch Twitch pretty often.
Yeah, you can watch it on Twitch, probably on GamesDoneQuick.com, all kinds of stuff. It's definitely something that you kind of get an acquired taste for, I think, for like just watching anything, like any kind of speedrun, cool. But kind of just getting into it, it's always good to just like find a game that you really enjoy or that you think you play well, and then be like, oh, let me check out this guy. Oh my God, what is he doing? Yeah. How did he beat this game 40 hours quicker than me?
I hate those people. Where do they have this amount of free time from? How is this possible? I feel like I'll never have enough time in my life to devote to anything like that. So I was playing Mario Sunshine ones. He's just zipping, sliding all over the place. People complain about like the controls and the camera. I'm like, yeah, well, watch this guy. He's okay with it.
Yeah.
God damn.
I always think about speedrunning like Jack and Daxter or Jak 2 because I love those games. And then I'm like, I will never have the time to really get this thing down.
Yeah. And
if I did it with any game, the game I used to be able to speedrun pretty quick was Mega Man X4. I knew that thing off by heart pretty much.
Yeah?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Mega Man games would be cool to speedrun. Especially because they don't take very long when you know the routes.
No.
Alrighty. And Persona 5 still devouring your time?
Yeah, 87 hours in now.
Impressive.
Nice.
And it's still going.
Nice.
It's insane. No game should be that long.
It's an RPG though.
Especially like where I'm saying like I haven't even done the story yet. Like I don't mind when games have tons of the extra content and things to do on the side, or like, oh, new game plus to do extra stuff. But like to literally just beat the game once, I kind of feel like it's a bit much right now. Because it'll probably be at 100 hours before I actually beat it.
Yes.
Nice.
Whereas you compare it to something like Zelda, which we'll talk about more in a second, that game you could beat it in a half hour if you're crazy, or
speedrunners,
2 or 3 hours, or 60, 70, 80 hours. You know, it all depends on how much extra stuff you want to do or kind of just explore the world. So that doesn't feel as I don't know, as I can't egregious as a Persona 5 does.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Very good. Very good. Never got into the Persona games. I tried 4 a bit on PS2. I think that's the one I played the most, and that was barely nothing at all. So it's like, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Still the best.
Is it? I
think so.
I feel like RPGs died for me after PS1. That was the last good generation, in my opinion, for RPGs.
S6. What do you think?
Oh.
No, there's lots of good on PS. There was lots good on PS2.
Such as
Golden Age, but PS2, no, there was lots. Even Final Fantasy X with its horrible voice acting was still a great game.
Yeah, I love 10.
Well, that's one game, but I mean, compared to the juggernaut that was the PS1 era of RPGs.
I talk about this.
Fires or Final Fantasies, I'm blanking on them.
Yeah,
Star
Legend.
Ocean?
I talk about this every year, but literally SquareSoft back in those days, they were releasing like an amazing RPG once or twice every year from like 96 to 2000, and it's insane. Like to just look at that library and wow, I wish games were like that again.
Yeah. Well, they had that summer, right? Whereas what, like both Final Fantasy 9 and Chrono Cross? Was that accurate?
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
And like Secret or Legend of Mana, like that.
Yep. You had Brave Fencer Musashi was in there.
Sure.
You could count Front Mission 3. A lot of people liked.
Sure. Dragon Quest came out.
Dragon Quest was in there.
It's ridiculously long.
Legend of Dragoon. No, that wasn't SquareSoft. My bad.
Yeah,
that was Sony though, right?
Yeah, but it was a solid game. Like,
yeah, awesome.
I really want to play Breath of Fire 3 again. I didn't get too far in it. That was a depressing storyline, and I liked that. Those Horse Brothers, man, what assholes! Ah, boy. But then what does PS2 have? I don't know. You did say Final Fantasy 10, I guess. But it's got the Xenosaga games. Those always seemed overly complicated, and I love robots. Not robots.
I like it, and I never finished the saga. Like, it's one of those games I think is better when you play all of them together. Like, they help each other out.
Yeah, like PS1 had Xenogears. Now that's a game. But then Xenosaga is like, no. Meh.
They had the Shadow Hearts games.
Dragon Quest
Koudelka
8 was on PS2.
Which one?
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now those are on
Kingdom Hearts games, even though they're action RPGs, they're on the PS2.
Yeah, I guess.
Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
Which is back now.
Exactly.
In POG form. Yeah. Anyways, there's an episode idea, actually. RPG episode. I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to dig people up. Get Darren and Daria on there. All the RPG peoples I know. Anyways, let's keep this ball rolling.
What did we come here for again?
We'll get to it. How about asking any quick quote-unquote, what's been playing, what's been watching?
Well, I've been watching a bunch of things. I watched the Netflix series Glow last week. That was a lot of fun. Gorgeous ladies of wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan as well, so it's lots of fun. But even if you're not a wrestling fan, really fun kind of comedy drama show. Good acting, good story, really good. And then I just started watching the Netflix Castlevania show because it just launched, and it's weird.
Yeah, I finished that last night actually. Yeah, it's only for 4 episodes and they're 20 minutes each.
Yeah, I got 2 in. That's all
Very
I got.
Good. I was going to bring that one up too.
The animation quality, I wish, was a little bit better.
It reminds me of Aeon Flux again. Everything reminds me of Aeon Flux. I should do an Aeon Flux hypecast. You know what?
They don't move as much as they should. I think that's my big thing. Is there's a lot of static movement with talking, where the voice actors are incredibly expressive and their animation models are just like,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
it should have been great.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just impressed that Konami actually let that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about for me. Alrighty.
And I too, as I mentioned, I finished watching that too. Castlevania on Netflix, pretty cool. Supposedly, I think it's the Castlevania 3 storylines. What I've been hearing, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like an origin story of Dracula at the same time. But then I'm starting to wonder about the whole lore, like with the PS2 games, what they told us about Castlevania. You guys play those PS2 Castlevania games? Those are pretty good. The 3D ones,
nope.
They're actually better.
I think I played Lament of Innocence for a little while, but I didn't get very far.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
second one was really good. You get like Pokemon helpers. It's cool.
I played the first one and it was awful, and I returned it to my EB games like almost immediately.
It starts out very, very barren, right? It's one of those games where you can
Just
play it more to unlock stuff, and then you have more buttons to press.
it was the controls, it was the camera, it was it was just so bad.
Really? I
Just
liked
so
it.
bad.
I liked it. But you are certainly entitled to your opinion. We do not want anyone to withhold their honest opinions of anything on this show, even if they're wrong. But no, the first one was, I'd say, well, no one's going to try it now because it's on PS2. But if it ever shows up on PS4, I'd say give the second one a try. That was a good one right there. Yeah. So as mentioned, yeah, Castlevania, it's pretty good. It's brief. Might as well watch it. And I mentioned in the last game I finished was Little Nightmares on Xbox One.
I still have to do that.
Okay. So no one else played it. I won't get too spoilery. There's not much to spoil.
I haven't finished it.
Okay. It's one of those games that's like, hey, you know, it's a really good game, Limbo. Let's make games like Limbo, where it's just like a side-scrolling thing, but it's just a little bit 3D. You can kind of go into the foreground and the background, but not that much. And you're just like a kid running around in like a spooky nightmare scenario. This nightmare scenario is like a weird boat with like spooky Muppet people who all want to kill you, I guess. When they capture you, you never don't want to get captured because that's when you quote unquote lose the life. But they never really do anything with you. They just kind of hold you, and then the scene just goes to dark. I thought that was kind of weird. You'd think they'd be like, they'd snap your neck or eat you or something. They don't really do anything with the character once they get her or him. I think it's a girl. It's hard to tell.
Well, they don't really explain much in it, so I think
Yeah.
it seems like the whole idea was that whole mysteriousness and like, why is this happening? Who are these people? I don't necessarily think they succeeded in that kind of style.
It's not bad,
but it's okay. Visually, I think it looks really cool. It's one of the few games that I think I honestly would rather watch than play.
There are definitely games coming out these days that feel like they were designed with like Twitch in mind.
Yeah.
Twitch or Let's Players. Things you don't really need to be playing yourself. Kind of a bummer. Oh well. Yeah, that game is fine. Again, much like the Castlevania Netflix, it's fine. I finished both of them, and I'm fine with that. It's one of those things where you can't really, I'm not loving it, I'm not hating it. It's just there. It is what it is. Have any of you played Inside yet? I hear it's good. Did you finish that one?
Finish that one.
Okay. I played the demo, and then I was thinking about buying it on the Steam sale, but then I just ran out of money, and then Steam sale's gone now.
I think it was overhyped, though, personally.
Really? Well, Limbo was overhyped, too, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like, I didn't think, like, save for, like, 2 or 3 puzzles, like, I didn't think the game was really, like, that challenging. It was very much, like, running from left to right and do something to get around this obstacle. Yeah. Whereas, like, Limbo, I thought was more interesting in their puzzles and what some of the stuff you had to do. There's a really awesome part at the end of Inside, which I won't get into if you haven't played it. So
I hear it gets a bit Katamari-esque.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
It's kind of been spoiled for me, but we won't go any further than that. But that's the next one I'd love to try in this trilogy of little kids running left to right in spooky nightmare realms. I want to say more about it. Like I'm impressed and confused that it got that big collector's edition, the physical one that came with a little, like, I guess maybe life-sized figure of the person to play as.
Raincoat girl.
Yeah.
Or raincoat boy. I don't know. It could be anybody.
I don't know. Did you see at the end, Raincoat Boy Girl ends up on Little Island?
No, I didn't finish it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's the ending I got. It's not a spoiler, though. I wouldn't have brought it up if we were, but it's just like things happen, you finish the game, and then after credits, you see Raincoat Boy Girl on an island. And it's kind of weird because when did the thing? I won't go any further. But it's like why is there even an island? When was
so it's Eco?
Maybe.
It's a prequel to Ico.
Prequel. Prequel. Get it? It's like Ico, but it's a prequel. Prequel. That's the episode's title. Prequel. Unless we can come up with something better. Alrighty. Anything else?
Sequel?
No. That's good too. Maybe this is the sequel because the last episode was the prequel. Oh man, this is getting too deep. Too deep. It's early. I didn't even have coffee. I forgot to buy coffee. Forgot all week. My favorite beverage, and I forgot to buy coffee. I bought a thing of coffee. I bought a thing of coffee, and it wasn't instant. And I poured it like it were instant, and it's like, no, it's nothing with grounds. No. I wasted the last of my milk, and oh god, what a mess. Anyways, is there anything else? I got the PS4, Xbox One, so I'm playing a lot of that. Started playing Resident Evil Biohazard. That's pretty cool. It's early. There's not really a lot I can say about it, except that it's really weird that at the start of the game, the guy gets his hand cut off with a chainsaw, and he kind of just walks it off.
Ooh.
Yeah, totally.
And then the next scene, something happens. Then the hand is now reattached to his body. He doesn't even look at it or acknowledge that at all. And I'm just like, really? You're kind of taking me out of the experience here, because Capcom obviously played Outlast and Whistleblower and saw what they did and said, hey, we could do this in the next Resident Evil game. Because let's be real here, this Biohazard game is kind of a ripoff of the Outlast games. A lot of sneaking and running from things.
Outlast and Amnesia. Those games kind of changed horror, I think.
True. I mean, they did the right thing, because we all know how Resident Evil was becoming. Kind of Gears of War-ish. It's not really what Resident Evil was ever meant to be.
Gears of Evil. That's a game I'd play.
It's a good one too. But yeah, no, I'm digging it. I'm just borrowing it. What's great is that our local library rents or borrows out PS4 and Xbox One games. So it's like, you can see here, I've got a stack of them.
Whoa.
Need a stack. Check them out. Stack. Yep, Nier's in there. Token 2, Fallout 4, Recore, Gravity Rush 2. There's plenty to catch up with. Oh, but anyways, yeah, that about does it for my Which I'm Playing, Which I'm Watching, I think, which means, do we need to take a recess? Does anyone need to use the washroom or anything?
I'm good.
Good to go.
All right, cool. Then we won't bother with that. So in the last episode, it was our Hypecast of the Wild, or Breath of the Hypecast, whatever you want to call it. As mentioned, we did have some live stream issues where things are crashing, and it kind of sucked the hype out of the show. So I apologize for that, because I was listening to it later, and I could hear the sadness in my own voice, because you gotta have energy. You gotta engage the listener with this sort of stuff. And then it all just kind of fell apart because the faith was lost
over again.
Yeah,
over and over again.
I had to put that dog out of its misery. But yeah, we were finally back a few months later to finish our topic, or our discussion on Breath of the Wild. Still, arguably, best game ever. Let's see. I'm just going to look over what we talked about. So we talked about why is the game so good. Is it the best game ever? Quite possibly. Is this what happens when Nintendo actually tries? We're going to get into that a bit more when we talk about the DLC. Because I'm a bit worried that the DLC is more modern Nintendo, where they don't care quite so much. While the main game is definitely I'm worried it might be the last hurrah of Nintendo as we know and love it. We'll get into that more at the end. Did the gamer
Can I say
count?
something?
Okay.
About Zelda?
Yeah.
I said it on my Twitter, but that game is gorgeous. Even five months later, where I kind of haven't been playing it as much until the DLC came out, but as soon as I turn it on, literally almost every time I turn the game on, I'm kind of shocked by just how good it looks. Its style is just one of a kind, and it looks beautiful. No matter, I feel like that game, I'll turn it on 2-3 years from now and still be like, oh wow, this is so pretty.
What a great place to be, this Hyrule. It's just like there's so many games right now where there's like you can 100% it if you really want. There's a ton of side quests and things to find. And like, I'm okay. This game, I could easily go back and dig up a couple more shrines.
Oh yeah.
So good. So good. That's why we've got freaking 2 podcast episodes to discuss of it. So we talked about some shrines. We talked about just the open world aspect of it, traveling around with horses or gliding or warping. We talked a bit about the story. Talked a bit about the towns. Did we? I don't remember. Oh, we can talk about all of it again.
I think we did a little bit.
Yeah. Story. What story? I just want to. Is it even here? Yeah. Okay. This is the first thing I want to bring up. Recently, over at the Cartridge Club, I was invited to be on their own very specific Breath of the Wild episode. And there's a question. One of their own like show planner segments was just talking about the characters of the game, and I was thinking about it. I was on the show. I'm like, characters. What? I didn't really have an opinion of the characters. Do you guys? What do you think of the characters of this game? Like, were they even that important? I mean, obviously the fan art kids love it. Oh, look at this cool fish guy. Let's draw him. All this nonsense, but like, did they even matter? Do you think of the characters when you think of this game?
I think that the characters themselves, as a kind of like, are just like placeholders to get from point A to point B, explain something. I do think they're a little bit more memorable than normal, because thinking back to previous Zeldas, I can't really think of many of their side characters, except again, like, okay, there's the Zora girl that you help out in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Like it's all just kind of like quest givey type things.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt like a lot of these side characters, the ones that had an effect on the story, they had a lot more personality to them. And so they stood out a hell of a lot more than normal. Even if, I can't necessarily remember their names. And then even beyond that, a lot of I think we mentioned this on the last episode, like the random villagers that are just traveling the world and exploring, and like I ran into those girls who are looking for mushrooms like 3 or 4 times in my game, and it was just a cool thing, even though they were basically doing the exact same thing as before. I liked that they were sort of living out their journey in their own time, and like our paths crossed. So little things like that, I think, go a long way in the overall feeling of the game. Whereas the characters don't necessarily need to be a Zelda quality character where the whole story focuses around them.
Like, I'm trying to think of other Zeldas. Like, have other characters aside from Link and maybe one basic gimmick character, like Midna as an example, just because she has to be there because it's like part of the main gimmick of the game. But it's always kind of been a pretty solitary series, I think.
Yeah.
They're all just kind of there, but Link's just got to do his thing. Ganon, like Ocarina of Time, definitely probably had the most Ganon. Well, maybe Wind Waker as well had a fair bit of Ganon talk, but.
And actually, I really liked Urbosa. Like the couple scenes with her and the couple memories that had her in him. Like I thought that character really kind of stood on her own and was pretty interesting.
I liked Urbosa. I liked Mifa a lot. I thought the flashbacks with Mifa were kind of fun, especially given that Zelda and Link's relationship isn't so romantic in this one.
Yeah.
Kind of that romantic relationship with the Zora, bringing up Ocarina of Time, visions of that. But it wasn't so one-sided. It actually looked like they could have been happy together at that point in their lives, but you just got little snippets of it. So, Daruk, the big guy, was okay. He was forgettable.
Yeah.
I hated his descendant. Oh my god. I can't even remember that kid's name. I hated
all the descendants are kind of letdowns.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna save Hyrule. You're barely trying.
I don't know if we talked about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I really like Sidon as well. I thought he was a lot of fun. I like the Zora designs in general, but I thought Sidon was a pretty fun side character.
Mm-hmm. Certainly one of the fan favorites.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it on the last episode or not, but the story is in the memories. Like,
yeah, it's all
everything that's happening present day is really just like point A to point B, get this to kill Ganon. And so the side characters, again, don't really have too much time to shine. Whereas if you find all the memories in that game, like, I really, once that was all said and done, I thought this game has one of the best stories in any Zelda game. But it all takes place in the past, and it's all has to be found. So you could not see any of that. But it was really cool seeing, like, those ancestors and their story and the fall of Hyrule and the conflict Zelda had with everything going on, like her position, her relationship with Link, like all that stuff I thought was really well done and really cool. Mm-hmm. But you needed to find everything.
Yep.
Might even be because of just the way the game was designed with the whole openness. Like the true openness, like if they like you can't really like the memories I guess are the best example because you kind of get them in random order because how else could you do it, right? They're not following a straight path. It's just here's the land, just go in whatever direction. And as the DLC showed us, I went in all sorts of directions. And that's like a bunch of silly string all over because it's just lines all over the place, going every which way. Because that's how I like to party in Hyrule. I'm glad you brought up the like the truffle hunters and all that because I think those are actually my favorite characters. Just the ones that didn't really have names, or if they did, it didn't matter because they're just people.
Yeah,
that's what I like the most about it. I don't care about these royal, mystical, destined people. I like Beetle. This dude with a beetle backpack who's just walking around trying to sell things and just make a living. I want to see these people do more fighting because whenever you see them fight like bokoblins or whatever, they're always like dead. They got the little stars around their head because they got beat up. How are they able to survive? That's the true struggle. All these fancy descendants, they're not doing much. They're just hanging around the big town, waiting for some random person to maybe be the hero of whatever. And then they help them out. I don't know. I feel like maybe the DLC 2 will have a lot of character development. I think that's because by this point, people have basically seen everything they need to see. So maybe by that point, that's when they can really start to flesh out the characters.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to do some sort of weird like resurrection thing. Maybe they'll bring those people back because why not? Because Zelda's back. She's 100 years old, but nothing looks any different. She's an elf girl. They age slower, I guess. I don't know. That was Middle Earth nonsense. Okay. So going off of the show plan as we had it written, our next topic is one of my favorite parts of the game, the element dragons. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this isn't really a game you can spoil all that much, but one of my favorite moments in the game involved... What was it? The third elemental dragon. Yeah, just like big open world. Look at all that sky. What can we put in that sky? A freaking Chinese style dragon. Look at that, guys! All like snaking out of the clouds, going through like canyons and ravines under a bridge, shooting lightning or fire or ice.
You're like, what the hell is that?
Exactly. The first time I saw one was in the jungle. I can't remember. Yeah. And
on the bridge?
I was like, is that? No, not on the bridge. He was way off in the distance. I tried catching him. I wasn't even close, which was actually kind of perfect that I couldn't get up to him. I just saw this big like dragon going in the distance. Went, oh my god, what is that? I must find.
Mm-hmm. I got the
spent hours searching for him.
Got the goosebumps when I saw the one on the bridge because you saw it and you hear the music changed. You get this weird like Asian theme music, like what is this? And you look over, like, oh, everything's so quiet. It's like this, whoa, I didn't know about this. Yeah. And it goes under the bridge. Oh, what do I do? Should I shoot it? Should I worship it? What do I do? I kind of feel bad that the game closer to the end is like, yeah, you'll want to shoot arrows at all the parts of these things because you'll need its horn, its toenail, its its nose hair, all this stuff. And it's like, I don't want to shoot this thing. They leave when you shoot them. They don't like that. You can't like glide next to them anymore because they're like, no, I'm done. And they go into the clouds. So cool. Once again, kind of a spoil, but not really. I love that these are like the same. Oh, babies! I love that these dragons are the same three elemental people that the other games had.
Yep. Yeah, all based on the older goddesses or what have you.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while, though. I don't remember what their names are. The GBC games had them in a lot of them.
Yeah. Like Pharaon and something else. Yeah. And something else. And something else.
They're like Fire Girl, Ice Girl, and Wind Girl, maybe. Now it's Electric Girl. Anyways. Yeah, that was a neat touch. Cool way to integrate them into this new game. And I love that third dragon, because the first two are just kind of, living their lives. But all throughout the game, there's this Ganon goo all over some stuff. Because Ganon is like a goo creature, and he leaves like eyeballs that you shoot who break up goo. And there's like weird goo crystals and all that stuff. But once you know it, that Ganon goo actually got on one of the dragons. I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah. And then you get a random mini boss in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. Just love that.
And of all the dragons to pick, he picked the one that Zelda took her pilgrimage to go see. It's like, oh, so good. So good. Oof. And then, like I said, you find it. It's like, oh, me, Linku. And then it sort of just flies off. And then you got to chase it on your glider. And it has its own updraft. So it's kind of keeping you up. And then you got to shoot all the poison bits off its body. That is so cool.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Definitely one of my favorite.
Really fun.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite parts in the game. Oh, those things are neat. And I like that you see them just random places. I know where to find them at certain times of day now, but there's more times when I'll see them. You know what was like the top of the map, I think it is, where the Goron area is. At the very top, there's like 3 different Lionels.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. That very top part of the map, maybe we'll say like top right-ish part of the map. The fire guy goes down there too.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, I wouldn't say constantly from what I've seen, but once in a while, like I didn't know because I've walked through there every now and then. But
I'm there pretty often because I'm all about the Lionel fighting. So when I was bored, I'm done with exploring for a while. I just warped up there and fought some Lionels for a while. And every time I was in the middle of a fight, here he comes floating down the valley.
Yeah.
Like, no, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love those dragons. They're super cool. They should do merch. Imagine if they did the 3 dragon amiibo.
Oh no, so expensive. We'd never seen them. It doesn't matter. We'd never ever see them.
Yeah, we'll get into Nintendo talk a bit later, but I don't know if there's going to be any more Nintendo watches because I'm kind of sick of their shit, to be quite honest with you. This game was. I almost worry that it might have been the last hurrah of Nintendo, as I know and love it.
I don't know.
I know people like ARMS, people like Switches and all that stuff, but you can't find the thing. It's like they don't even want to have things in stock anymore. I don't care if it's I don't care if it's just some stupid sales gimmick to make people want stuff because they can't have it. I don't care. I'm done. If you don't want me to have Amiibo, then so be it. Spend the money on other things.
I mean, the Amiibo annoys me because you should be able to get these little figures, whatever. But the Switch thing, it's consistently, I still can't believe that they're always sold out. It's months after release, and things are always sold out.
Yeah.
And then people get mad when like game devs are like, well, Switch is kind of a risk, kind of a gamble. It's like, yeah, I agree. I wouldn't release on that thing. No one has it. They can't find it. Only the diehard fanboys are able to dig one up out of whatever recesses of retail or Amazon, or of course the resellers are just running wild because why aren't they? And we'll get into SNES Classic talk a bit at the end too if there's time. Anyways, let's get back to some Zelda talk. So next up, just enemies. What do you think of them enemies there? Not the biggest selection, but they've got spirit.
Yep.
Did you guys get all the enemy the masks?
No.
Oh yeah.
I got like 2, maybe 1. I definitely got the easiest one, the Bokoblin.
Yeah.
And then that was really fun to just like walk up into their camps all like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. I love that Link does their pose too.
Yeah.
He's, like, kind of looking around, or he's like trying to get all buff for the Lionels. It was nasty.
The Lionels always see through you eventually.
Yeah. So you only have 2 legs. Link.
Yeah. No. Do I wish there was a little bit more variety in the enemies? Yes.
Mhm.
But with what they had and how they worked them, I think it was pretty good. I think the only thing that were really disappointing and could have been used a little bit more were the Wiz Robes.
Yeah.
They were kind of a really fun encounter at the beginning of the game. All of a sudden, there's this like magical user hopping around, and he's creepy, and he's got magic, and it was super cool. And they were kind of an event. And then later in the game, once you know everything, you just kill them in one hit. It's fine.
Did you? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead. One hit is you're talking about using like an elemental arrow.
Elemental arrow, and they're done.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Austin.
Beyond just the enemies, I think one of the most disappointing things about the game is the bosses. I don't know how you guys feel. I think this game has pretty much one of the worst selection of bosses, like in any Zelda.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no doubt.
There's like one or two of those bosses that were pretty cool. The one where you got to use the flight one, the eagle guy. Yeah.
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 His one was pretty cool. And then like kind of getting to the divine beast was fun. Most of those instances were pretty cool. But the bosses themselves, I was really disappointed with. Even Ganon at the end was pretty good. Okay.
Pretty good, yep. Very different. Very Dark Souls.
But yeah, that's one of those things where like you compare it to other Zelda games, and it's just like I feel like there is no comparison.
Yeah.
A lot of Zelda had a lot of good bosses throughout the years, and like this, I don't think I put any of these bosses in like the top 10.
No.
Yeah, definitely maybe not the variety you might have come to expect.
Yeah, the whatever they were, the Guardian Beasts. Some of their battles were really fun. Like going up to the big elephant the first time and riding around and jumping and shooting, great fun. But then there was more that were almost all like that. And it was like, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
We couldn't have thought something a little bit more individual for each encounter, maybe, sort of, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, the Ganon battles were all kind of samey. They were fun, but they weren't anything memorable. I think the biggest disappointment for me with boss encounters was the Yiga clan leader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was disappointing, but it was also pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like
It was also
how it
really
ends.
funny.
So he had that going for him.
Yeah, but I was really hoping for like that one-on-one, really tough sword battle encounter. I was like, all right, this is it. This is the test of skill. And no, not even a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did he keep fighting you over the pit? He might have had a lot better luck, or he just wasn't over the pit.
He was not that good at thinking about things.
Yeah.
It was surprising they didn't use the Sheikah slate more in a lot of the fights. Like some of them you kind of use them a little bit, but I thought they could have been used a lot more effectively in more inventive ways, considering like all the crazy stuff you can do with them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised they had
that Guardian Beast, the elephant one. That's the only one I really remember using it consistently.
You have to spin the bird.
Breaking all the ice.
Oh. I could see them adding more of that stuff. when it was purely a Wii U game, and they knew people would have the gamepad. I don't know. Like I don't have a Switch. Does the Switch's screen have the same kind of like presence that the Wii U gamepad does? Do you guys have?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, like when it's docked, of course, not if you're holding it. 'Cause not much choice if you're holding it, but
yeah, I mean, if it's docked, you can't see the screen at all.
yeah, it still kind of has like a conflict to it, though, right? Because like either the screen is there and you're holding it, and that's a whole set of like gameplay of rules you've now given like the devs and the players. But then if you dock it, suddenly like that piece is now gone, and then I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
screen moving around thing and where it is and how you can interact with it. If it's a touch screen versus if you're like moving a cursor around with your controller.
I mean, some devs are just going to have to be convicted to it and then stand by what they want to do. Because there is, I think, one game that is like it can't be docked. They even say like this game can only be played in handheld mode because you need to use a touchscreen. So,
oh wow.
I would like if more developers kind of did that and just said, hey, screw it. Hey, you got to play this game in handheld mode. This is how we do it. You need to use the gyro, the touchscreen, whatever. And that's just how it's done. But I feel like the flip side is going to happen more often or not. People are going to be like, well, we got to compensate for the people who want to play it on the TV. So we're going to get rid of all this interesting stuff that we were going to do.
Yeah.
You got to play for the system. I mean, if you've got those kind of accessories and those capabilities, use them. I mean, I'm probably going to get a Switch here in the next couple months, depending on. But the thing that interests me most is the 3D motion, like gyroscope motion, not gyroscope motion, the rumble feedback they have in the Switch controllers. I think that's such a neat idea. And I want to see that explored more. If you've got it, use it.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I think one thing that might be good is if, from what a lot of people have been saying online and the internet, it seems like a lot of people like the Switch in handheld mode, whereas Nintendo kind of right from the start was like, no, this is a console, home console. You know, taking it on the go is just like an extra fun thing you can do. But it seems like more people than not are just using it as a handheld system. So I hope that gives kind of developers the okay to go ahead and like, okay, let's do something that you can only play in handheld mode or something like that.
Exactly.
It's tricky too because I feel like everyone's like, well, 3DS is dead now. Might as well just go to Switch. And it's like Nintendo, like they've been pushing 3DS lately. They're like, no, it's still a thing. I mean, we got.
I feel like they need to stop though, man. Like 3DS. Every time they release a new game on 3DS, I'm just like, oh, why? I pick up a 3DS and I feel like I'm holding ancient technology.
I mean, isn't PSP screen still better than the 3DS screen?
PSP? Yeah, I believe so.
It's got that griminess to it, right? It's just like everything's so fuzzy. I don't want to look at this. Monster Hunter Story is right around the corner, though. I want that. I got 3 of the amiibo. Those are sexy amiibo. I'll tell you what. Anyways, enemies. Lionels, Guardians, bad dudes at the start. The game, I think we mentioned this before, but the game definitely takes a turn once you really start to learn the ins and outs and you've got your armor and your weapons all charged up. Like I remember trying to get that one tower right in the middle of the map where there's guardians all over the place like this. This is a risky maneuver. I went around it. Because you just don't have enough stamina though. It's like beep 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 beep, all these lasers pointing at you. Like, oh god, it's just you don't have enough power to just run for long enough. Same with Lionel's. It's just like no.
I
what you're all about.
Guardians are one of the coolest additions of enemies in Zelda games for years. They're lots of fun to fight.
You can ride them, sort of. You just stand on the head and just kind of wander around.
I do think the game kind of loses something towards the end because of that. Like when you get super powered and not worried about stuff anymore.
Like nothing's dangerous.
And I kind of noticed that more in this playthrough now because with the DLC, I restarted the game on master mode. So it's definitely harder, but it also just in general brings you back to the beginning where you are underpowered. You need to go around and scavenge for food and fish and create potions that are going to help you out and stuff. And like, I'm like, yes, this is why I love this game. Like this overwhelming feeling where the whole world is kind of bearing down on you, you know, and you got to react to it. And as you get more powerful, it's cool at first to get more powerful, but towards the very end, then you kind of just like blow through everything. Nothing is a worry anymore.
Yeah, Lionel's are looking out for me now, and it's nice, but at the same time, it's like, well,
there's a lion on the Great Plateau, like,
yeah, I've been hearing that.
I'm just like, why are you here?
That's awesome.
It scared the shit out of me because like I'm crouching down in grass, and like he saw me right from the distance just because it's master mode and he can see better. I'm like,
damn.
Oh my god, get out of here!
Now you've got his magic arrows to worry about. Those things scarred me for life, man. They go through walls and ceilings and rocks and things. They shouldn't do that. So upset about that. So upset. And yeah, Guardians are neat. I like the little piano.
You chop their legs off.
Yeah, that's true. If you get an ice block under the dead ones, if they're in water, you can actually uproot them, and there's more junk underneath them. That's a neat trick. It's not that neat. It's not really worth doing, but it's something.
If you're getting Guardian parts.
Yeah. There's this.
I like all my Guardian weapons.
There's this one Guardian that suddenly appears en route to the Goron village. You know that path up the mountain? Yep. There's just one there now. It's always funny to see him. It's like, oh, it's you. You weren't there before, but you're there now. He's a good dude. Any other enemies? I did find that thing you mentioned before, Essex, about the labyrinth basement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Fun. You like lots of Guardians. Go down there.
Oh, it was just so neat because when I went to that point in the game, I was at the scary part of the game. Everything was tough. Everything kicked my ass. So yeah, to have this room full of Guardians was like, oh my god, what is going on? And that was my first little bit of like Guardian proof armor. So I was like, oh, this diamond circlet. I bet no one has this. This is the coolest thing. And yeah, it's like, yeah, you can just buy it at the shop there. Yeah, it's totally fine.
Was that the freebie? The one you had?
Again, I want those really cool exclusive rewards for doing really hard things. That's what it should be.
It's not on the list for whatever reason, but we also got some giant Cyclops creatures.
Oh yeah,
Enoxes, and their zombie counterparts. Everything has a zombie skeleton counterpart.
Well,
those are fun little fights. Of course, there's the one on Eventide. He's in all our minds because you kind of have to deal with that.
One.
It's fun. I like how sometimes they have armor, like sticks and like tree bark for armor, so you can't like break their legs. But then you just set that on fire. Like, how did he figure this out? And then it's neat how they like cover their one eye because they know you're going to shoot their eye with an arrow, and they don't like that. And of course, it's neat that they have like necklaces made of like defeated like soldiers or whatever, all their cool weapons. This is mine now. And
sneak up while they're sleeping, steal all their necklaces.
Right up on their hand or glide down onto them. The options are there. And the Moldugas, those are fun fights.
Moldugas are very fun. I kind of wish there was like more variation in the Moldugas, like ice Moldugas or something.
That'd be fun. If you've seen Tremors, you know what to do. They're sandworms. They like listening to different noises. They jump up, they chomp out, and you throw a bomb at them, and then they explode, and they're like, oh, then they're dizzy, and then you do your spin attack, and they're dead. And like, this shouldn't be this easy. Certain, like we just said, like certain areas you can just feel are meant to be a struggle, but they just aren't by a certain time in the game. And you almost feel guilt. Like you should be like a badass sandworm that I don't want to fight, but no, I want to fight you and kill you. And I have your medal now because I've killed all of you. I have the sandworm medal. I'm
I
looking for
think
all
if
the
I
other.
had gone to like the Gerudo, like the desert first, I would have found them more intimidating. But because I
Definitely.
went there last, they were just like, oh, and then there's one more enemy, and they're pretty easy to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never killed one because I went to Gerudo first, and I was like, "Oh my god, get me out of here!"
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the feeling I wish I had had with them. They were
Yeah.
just like, eh.
And I just never went back. I kept thinking, I was like, "Oh yeah, I got to go back because there's like a side quest or something with one of them killing." I don't remember, but I was like,
Yeah.
I should go back.
The monster guy, like he'll give you medals if you defeat every Hinox or Lionel or Molduga. And they do nothing. That's just a little item to have in your inventory, but you know, it's something. It's something. I like that.
That
Guy.
golden poop.
Little extras.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Just this dude that really digs monsters. And he makes masks. Oh, speaking of monsters, I have to upgrade some armors. I need to fight in a bunch of Lizalfos. I need different tails, red tails, white tails, yellow tails, all this nonsense. Ugh, that's something I don't need to do. Next up on the list here, we got some Korok talk. Fun little Miyazaki-esque creatures.
Indeed.
I feel like they're like, well, this map is so big, we better fill it with something. And those are that something.
You know, the Koroks for me are great and awful all at the same time. Because it's kind of nice that there's things to do all over Hyrule, and you never know when you're going to find them, and there's so many unique encounters. But anytime you think you've discovered something really, really friggin' cool, like, oh, this is super secret, it's just a fucking Korok.
Oh. Yeah, it's like it's that or a shrine. I mean, shrines are always good to find, especially the ones where it's like you found it, now you've finished it because you found it. I like those ones, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you feel like there should be these unique weapons that are like, this sword shoots bokoblins out of it or something, and it's only found in this one area. You know, like that would be awesome. But instead, it's like, oh, you found a traveler's sword plus 10 or something. It's like, oh, well, I don't really care. I did all this crazy journeying and climbing to go to some place I thought was nobody accessed, and this is all I got. All I got with a stupid shirt.
You get
I'm kind of with you, Essex. Like, I love and hate the Koroks. I love when they you find them, and a lot of times you know it at a certain point in the game. It's like you know there's one there. But I like when they're the reward for doing something like that you probably would have done just for fun anyway. Like on this playthrough, I climbed to the top of the Dueling Peaks, which I didn't do on my first playthrough, even though I wanted to. And at the very top, there's 2 shrines, but then there's also this area with like 2 trees that almost look like goalposts, and then like further up, you climb, and it's like, oh, there's some boulders I can move. Oh, I want to push that boulder through those trees. I bet you I could do that. And of course, there's a Korok for doing it, but like, I would have wanted to push that boulder anyway. So I like when there's stuff like that kind of just in the world, and it's like, oh, cool. And I know I'm going to get a little reward for it.
Those are the best Korok encounters, without a doubt.
Yeah. But then the ones where it's just like, oh, there's a rock here and it looks out of place, I'm going to pick it up and get a Korok. Those are pretty lame.
Yeah. I also like the ones where all of a sudden you can hear the windmill, and they're throwing, you know, rocks or balloons or whatever they are in the air. You've got to shoot them down. That's lots of fun.
You ever find that sometimes they don't appear, or maybe they're hidden? Like, there's a couple where it's like, hidden. I'm here. What do you want me to do? I'm looking around. I don't know. It's weird.
The ones that are like invisible and you gotta kind of chase them down.
Those are neat. Those are very Miyazaki-esque. Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. Those are fun if you're on the ground, but if you come in from the air, you can just like, boop, done.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I really also like the ones that remind me of The Witness. where there's like structures in the world, and there'll be two structures next to each other, and you got to see like, oh well, this one doesn't match this, so I need to move this piece here.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, those are more fun little puzzles. It's just that they come from so many, like, there's so many ways to get Koroks, and there's like 900 of the damn things.
Mm-hmm. That's actually what I'm worried about as far as the master mode. It's just having to find them all over again and need them for more items.
Yeah. Already there, buddy.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm surprised everyone went to the master mode first, because I've been just doing like the DLC dungeon and finding all the random chests. We'll get into that real quick.
Yeah.
Master Sword. It's fun. It's fun that we did wait for the DLC to do this episode, because a lot of this stuff has been updated with new information, such as the Master Sword now being able to be powered up via the DLC dungeon.
Yeah. Which is good. But it's as it should be. Like, the Master Sword should have never gotten weaker, and I think that's kind of lame and stuff.
Yeah, it happened before, though. I mean, like, was it even Link to the Past? There's a spot where you can power it up.
Well, isn't it just like if you have all your hearts, you shoot lasers, and if you don't, you don't? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've played Link to the Past.
No, you get stronger. You get a stronger Master Sword, and you get a big sword as well. So.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring it to the blacksmith, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are the days. That's a good ass game. I like that there's the hobo asleep under the bridge in Link to the Past. That's a fun little thing. It's like, oh my god, you can go under this one. Normally you just trying to bump into it.
Yeah.
I think he gives you a bottle. That's a good item. You always use a bottle.
God,
yeah,
bottles
sword.
were the best.
I still think the basic one-handed sword is Link's best weapon, just because you can hold a shield as well. Which gives you the best options for as far as like having a lock-on fight with another fighter.
Yeah.
I don't use it all that much. So if I see it's glowing, like if I'm around a guardian, I'll certainly use it. But I forget it's there most of the time. It's kind of like a last boss item to me.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly keen to try it out once it gets DLC'd up to full power. I think it's always glowing at that point. I'm not sure, but
full power. Yeah, I think that's the idea of it. It's full power all the time and doesn't degrade.
Yeah, but we'll get to it. Yeah, I don't know. Does it still need recharge time? I'll find out. Soon enough. We got photo memories next. We already kind of touched upon that. It's a neat idea, though. A fun way to get more backstory into the game. And I like that you actually go where the memories took place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice touch.
It makes you pay attention to the world in a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. But the magic sparkles can be real tricky to see sometimes.
Yes.
Where you got to stand to activate the memory.
I think the thing about the memories taking place where, like, in the actual location really makes the world more important.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the world, and having, you see a cutscene, it takes place in the world, you can walk by at any time. Really nice touch.
It gives, like, purpose to these structures that you kind of see and pass by, but you never really acknowledge them as being things that people would want to have and go to. You know what I mean? Like the one with the horse shrine. That's a good one. Like, it's a thing you can just like ride by or fly over, but otherwise it's like, oh, this is a thing that they're acknowledging. Horse shrine. Good old horse shrine. That's where I found the Zelda horse that I named Goat because it would not stop climbing on mountains. Because it's huge, this huge plane for it to run around, and it keeps going on the rocks. Like right down to the water. I'm surprised I think it might have killed itself one time. I don't remember. Horse physics. Tricky things. Oh, here's a fun one. Hyrule Castle. Ooh-wee.
Oh, yeah.
That music.
Oh, God, that music.
People who say this game has no music, go to Hyrule Castle. There's some music.
Yep.
What a fun area. It would have been neat if they had more of that. Like
Yeah.
if each dungeon was that instead of like a walking robot thing.
That felt like a dungeon.
Yeah.
Whereas the Divine Beast kind of felt like souped up shrines.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
It's the theme of the whole game with this whole future past tech and all that. But yeah, this is what we wanted. I love that there's so many different ways to get around.
And in and through and side rooms and
Super
weapons
cool.
galore.
Yeah, that's where I found the official like Link style shield.
Yep.
I don't know if you can find it anywhere else. Yeah, that one was it zombie Hinox fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I found that.
It's in in like the jail section.
Yeah. I don't think I got that.
The official silver, blue, and red shield with Hyrule symbols and tramp stamp image. That stupid like bird symbol they started using. It's a tramp stamp. Yeah.
But yeah, there's all kinds of like little mini bosses in there. You fight Lionels. You can find a like really tough the rocks. The rock dudes.
Golem guys.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're actually called, but but there's one of those in one of the basements that's really hard to fight because it's so damned enclosed. You're used to having a lot of room when you fight them, and it's just this little like corner, like it looks like a mine shaft almost, and it's super fun. It just has a new twist to fighting.
Yeah, what are those things called? We forgot to mention them too. Speaking of things you can miss, like those guys are hard to find sometimes if you're actually looking for them. Like if you want to get the metal, they're literally rocks. Like I don't know you're there because you're underground. Mostly. Those are fun fights. Sometimes they're fun fights. You fight one of them in the first section of the DLC dungeon. Yeah, bit tricky. Hyrule Castle, cool music. It's really easy to just swim up the water.
I never did that.
That's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
If you just want to get there in a hurry, just go up those waterfalls.
The only reason I kind of explored was because I knew there was like a memory in there, so I was trying to go around, and like Zelda's room is in there, and she's also got a diary that I don't think we talked about that much. There's a lot of diaries around this game, which again kind of give more life to the world, but I've never really been a fan of that kind of storytelling. Most of the times I feel like it doesn't work very well.
You kind of just want to flip through it.
It's like, oh yeah, cool story, I guess.
Yeah, but, those Lionel rooms though, that's nasty. I was not prepared. I was like, oh no, it's so enclosed, and you got those stupid like cow skulls.
Gates come down.
Oh, nasty. I need to fight all those to get my Lionel badge. One of these days. Yeah, definitely a cool area. The library is definitely a key spot too. Lots of little hidden rooms in the library. One which leads to the docks. That's also where there's a shrine to get in and out, which is very convenient.
I don't know if I got that. Maybe I did.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's the shrine that's actually in Hyrule Castle. So you'll want to look for that if you haven't found it yet.
Yeah, I found that one.
Yeah, use your your magnet rune in the library, and you'll see all sorts of things light up.
Yeah,
lots of secrets. There's another secret diary in there too. And the cookbook set. There's one random dude who wants you to make him a Hyrule Castle recipe. And then he gives you like 100 rupees. You're like, wow.
Yeah. Good thing.
Yeah.
What a reward. There we go.
All right. Of course, that must lead us to the Ganon fight. Once again, kind of getting now into spoiler territory. Not really. As I said, there's not really a whole lot you can spoil in this game.
You fight Ganon in Zelda? What?
Yeah. Exactly. Robotnik shows up in a Sonic game? Yeah, so like I said earlier, there's a lot of not maybe we'll say controversial designs for the bosses. And this is kind of where you see how it all came from. Ganon's just like a mess.
Oh yeah.
He's just a bunch of stuff stuck to goo. It's like
Stuff stuck to goo.
And he's just
Yeah,
like
he
not having the
is.
best time. Like, what was he
No.
even doing in there? Like, that's not how I expected to see things. Like, when I found that Zelda was containing him somehow, I wasn't expecting him to be like a weird cocoon,
Dark
moth
Souls
cocoon
villain.
thing. Yeah.
He's
Then it
essentially a
falls-
big, creepy, like Dark Souls or Bloodborne demon version of Ganon.
You know what he
But with
looks
lasers.
like? Remember the guy from Resident Evil 4 once he gets all powered up?
Yeah,
Nope.
Like, he looks like a weird centipede guy.
definitely.
Yeah. If
Some
you've seen it,
similarities
you'd think, yeah. That's what he reminds me of. Just with more shiny bits. Not a whole lot
Yeah,
to
I
say
don't
of
know. I
that.
thought the Ganon fight was, again, it was fun, but it wasn't feel like it really paid off that well. Like the
Yeah.
whole game, we're being built towards Ganon. Everything is towards Ganon.
Yeah.
Everything you do is to fight Ganon. And
Yeah.
you get here, yup. And then there's the fight. I mean, the first part, okay, fun. You know, there's some nice, like, good timing to it, but it's really not crazy memorable. And then the second part is visually outstanding,
Yeah.
but the fight itself is boring as hell.
I like that you get to see them shoot the beast lasers at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. So all of us
Very fun.
did the Divine Beast, right? First.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only
So-
streamers need to go like WM1, so to speak, right up to the last boss. Anyone who bought the game wants all they got out of the game. I like that.
Yeah.
Bursa does her trademark finger snap and then the laser. Zoom. It's like, yeah, finger snap style.
Yeah, because if you don't, you got to fight all those Ganon shadows, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just one
And
one
that's
after
what I'm
the
gonna do
other.
when I get the Switch version.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Really, the
Yeah, I'm
bosses?
just gonna go straight for it.
you basically got a
bosses
whole
so cool.
boss rush. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's weird because I kind of thought they were stuck in the machines because they were like the ones that were like in control of them because otherwise they'd be blue instead of red.
I mean, Ganon's they're Ganon's powers, so he just brought him back to. He's like, oh shit, Link's here. I need these guys back.
He is the DLC warp pad. Huh. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you find me scrolling walls. There's a very small window of opportunity. You can knock lasers back if you can get the timing down, which I often couldn't. And then he's like, "Rah, I'm still angry. Rah, I'm going into my cloud pig rhino bull mode." And then
Yep.
there's a random horse.
Yeah.
You're like, "Yay!" And then you horse around.
I don't think
Whichever
it's
horse
random.
you
I
ride
think it's
last.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like you said, just kind of do some laps. You know, you see the shiny parts, you shoot at the shiny parts. You get the super bow. That's kind of cool. It's like a crescent moon shape.
Never get to use it again.
No, yeah.
Sadly.
I always hate it. I hate it when games don't let you like exist in the world after the boss.
Okay, Will.
I remember that episode. He was right though. I see why, because I guess if you did, there wouldn't be enemies. I guess because it was his blood moon that brought them back, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I guess you could just kill them all, make them extinct. Or I don't know, maybe they're all just there because of magic. I don't know.
That would be kind of a fun last mission, though. Hunt
Yeah.
down every single last
Kill
enemy in
everything.
Hyrule.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You could have a huge ass counter in the corner, like
Yep.
347 left or something. That'd be cool.
That actually would be pretty cool.
Hmm.
DLC
Yeah.
too.
There you go, coming
Or
up.
DLC 3.
Exactly.
My bad.
Yeah. All right, so let's just say we beat Ganon. You know, basic fight. Link, shoot the shiny bits. Link. He's like, okay, between. The blood moon rises. That voice, so bad. It's so bad. It's
Oh,
kind of good, but it's still so bad.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the ending? There wasn't really much of an ending. I mean, it's like, oh, Zelda, you're back. Nothing's changed.
If you find all the memories, you get a little extra piece, but even that's just kind of like, hey, we gotta rebuild, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
You get to see that booty dough. That's what I remember that scene. Like, God damn. Those are tight pants. She's got to ride that horse. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Visceral. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Either she's like, well, but you really remember me, Link? Or she's like, you remember me, Link? Let's rebuild. And it's like, oh, God, I got to do this now. Can I fight more monsters instead? And yeah.
And then it turns into Harvest Moon.
Ooh. That'd be all right. I like there's a town in the snow area. It's like a whole village, and it's all defeated. Lots of monsters hanging out there. But that's a neat town. That town should be rebuilt because there's not much else in the snow area. You guys ever find that town? It's easy to miss.
Oh. Yeah,
maybe.
Okay. And I kind of just walked by it.
Yeah, it's big though. It's a definite town size, but it's all in snow. It's all ruined. And that area is always tricky because of all the like the cloudy weather, hard to see things.
Yep.
That's snow area, by the way.
To explore more is the snowy areas. I kind of kept out of them.
No, you're not wrong to do that. It's got the most annoyingly hidden shrines in the map is up there.
Oh, I bet.
Best for doing shield surfing though.
Absolutely.
It's basically Cool Borders Hyrule up there. There's a warp that goes right to the top. Just pick a direction, just have at her.
But that spot made me wish there was like more to the shield surfing, because up until that point I was like, oh cool, yeah, I'm gonna slide down this mountain real quick, and like it was awesome. And then once I got to the snowy part where you're really supposed to, like, there's side quests and stuff with shield surfing, I was like, oh man, like I wish there was more to this. Like, I feel like this is going on too long now.
I always try and use it just wherever, like, it's good for just like real short trips, but that's definitely the spot to go if you want to get some real shield surfing done. That is definitely one of the more fun things to do in the game. I like how if you talk to that girl who's like a shield surfing expert, she'll tell you how good a shield is. Like, well, that's a pretty good shield. It's not the best shield for surfing. Right. It's got legs. Cool. So
I
that's
think
more or
shield
less.
surfing is kind of indicative of a lot of things in Breath of the Wild. Really great ideas. Wish there was more with them.
Yeah. Well, if you just got to be at the top of the mountain. That's all you need. Hopefully, you don't wreck everything. Oh, Austin's got baby duties. All right.
What's next?
That's pretty much it for the game as we knew it back in April. But now the future is here. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have some amiibo cards to discuss, but they have not arrived because Canada Post. Want to hear more about our thoughts on Canada Post? Be sure and watch the CAPMAX ToyCast live streams. I ordered 13 or 12. Some number, I don't know, we'll say 12 amiibo cards of every amiibo for this game that I didn't have, that I can't find or are too expensive, and they haven't arrived. It sucks. I got refunded as always, but you know, still, I just want the cards. They're stuck in Vancouver mail depots because they don't want to deal with that. Too much mail, let's just not deliver it. Goddamn sound at times. Anyways, DLC 1 is out. Austin, is it safe to speak? Austin has muted himself.
I mean, if I'm talking, I think we'll be okay.
It's fine. Tell us, what do you want to do? Talk a bit about Master Mode or talk about like the DLC dungeon? Whichever.
I mean, since you've only done the DLC dungeon or started to, you can talk about that, and then I can talk about Master Mode because I've done nothing else really.
All right, fair enough.
Well, we could kind of talk about the DLC in general.
Yeah, certainly.
So the DLC is $20, and it is basically
$30 in Canada.
$30 in Canada. My bad. But it gives you access to the first DLC pack, and it will give you access to the second DLC pack which is supposed to be story heavy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna even get the DLC until I realized like the pack, it includes both packs, you know?
Yeah.
So if anybody out there was kind of in my mindset where like $20 for this one pack, I'm not doing that. No, it does include the stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
I playing it now, like, and just kind of hearing about other people's experiences though, like I probably wouldn't have gotten this if it was just standalone by itself, like if the second pack wasn't coming, because it kind of is a little disappointing. There's not too much to it, and it's stuff you almost feel like, well, if you were nice, you could have just added that.
Yeah,
you know.
It was a very quick download for DLC Pack 1.
Yeah, the master mode is just a hard mode. You know, they add only one real extra dungeon or shrine, which doesn't even seem like it's really that big of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, you know, some extra costumes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you still have to go find those extra costumes, which I don't know if some people are aware of that.
I'll get into that one.
So yeah, for me, I downloaded the patch. I booted up my last save, and I kind of like found with on your menu, it's like, oh, here's side quests for this outfit. Here's side quests for this outfit. And I was like, you know what? I don't even want to do any of this. I'm just going to start the game over on Master Mode and try that out. Because I kind of wanted to play the game over again anyway, to kind of get that feeling back of being underpowered and stuff. And I was like, let's check that out. So Master Mode is pretty cool. It definitely makes all the enemies harder. Like they're all like a level or two higher than they normally would be. So like red bokoblins are kind of the weakest. Like there are no red bokoblins, even on the Great Plateau. So it's really hard at first until you can find a couple good weapons. Really hard to survive. I was kind of just running from everything on the Great Plateau because a tree branch is not going to kill a blue bokoblin.
No.
So there's that aspect of it right now, which is just difficulty, harder, enemies hit harder, yada yada. But they also add a lot of extra chests and like extra enemies that are kind of all floating on these platforms all around the world. And I don't know is that just in the DLC in general, or is that only on Master Mode? Do you know, Steve?
What do you mean? Well, it comes with Master Mode.
Okay.
It's not in the. They didn't add it to the normal save.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those floating platforms usually have enemies, but they also usually have chests. So it's kind of a risk reward thing because those chests specifically have really high level gear and items. The recent one I just got was a sword, but I got like 52 attack, and I'm at like basically the very beginning of the game still. Like I'm off of the Great Plateau, but I'm walking towards Hateno Village, and like I already have a 50-something sword. Then a lot of them also have the special effects too. Like I got 2 shields that are like durability plus 16.
Nice.
So if you seek out those floating platforms, like that's the way, kind of the way you have to go, because otherwise you're just going to get murdered by everything. So that's a pretty cool aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, in general, it doesn't really do that much. You know, just kind of makes the game a little harder, and then adds these floating platforms in the game to kind of look for.
Mm-hmm. It's probably too soon, but I guess, have you seen a gold Lionel by any chance?
No.
Because that's what I'm most keen to experience.
And I'm kind of horrified to find one.
I wonder if they just decided, oh, whatever, one hit kill. If he hits you once, it's over. I wouldn't be surprised.
So yeah, I haven't really messed too much with the hidden outfits or anything like that, but each one kind of has their own ability. Steve, but yeah, in general, my thoughts are like, yeah, if this pack didn't come with the story pack that's coming, I'd pretty disappointed. So. And who knows, I might still be disappointed if that pack sucks later on.
No. Yeah, I feel that like I think we mentioned it earlier, but I feel like the Champions Ballad is definitely going to be where they will actually have more character interaction. I'm like the image, like they're all there. I'm wondering if we're going to bring them back to life. That's what I'm guessing, because they aren't ghosts. It's not Ghostbusters this time.
The trailer that they showed almost felt like you were gonna play the prequel, like you were gonna play in the memories.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if I really want that, honestly.
It'd be interesting, whatever it is. I also want to point out too that they say 3 gigs are required for the DLC, and I think that's for both Pack 1 and 2. It doesn't say that on their website. It just says it implies that that's only for the first pack, but I think it's for both. Because I actually uninstalled Pikmin from my Wii U hard drive for this, and it was like, well, it needed maybe 100 megs to get DLC Pack 1. I'm like, what? You told me I needed to save 3 gigs for this thing. So I'm thinking those gigs are going to be put towards the Champions Ballad, which comes out holiday 2017. Which adds, I've got the website up in here. Second content pack adds a new dungeon, an original story, and even more challenges. That'd be neat. Yeah, let's see. Did you know that this there's an expansion pass bonus? You can find a Nintendo Switch shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you find that? It's in the plateau.
Yeah, very easily. If you start the game over, it's like unmissable.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't find it in my save yet, though. It's apparently useless. It's like no armor. It's just buy the Nintendo Switch. Yay.
oh yeah, they added the Heroes Path thing, which you talked about a little earlier.
Yeah, no, I've got it all open here. We're just gonna go through it. Trial of the Sword. That's the main piece of this DLC, as far as your original save goes. It's kind of like Eventide Island all over again, except doesn't look as good because you're not on a cool tropical island. It's like a bunch of smaller enclosed like shrine rooms where they just have enemies and trees and whatnot. By the way, I just read this. That apparently you can cut down the trees to make charcoal, and then apparently Link can eat charcoal to gain health.
What?
Yeah, I'll have to give that a go when I try the trial again. That's a fun pro tip.
I don't advise you to eat charcoal, Link.
No. I guess you do what you got to do, though. You got to rough it. Here's a pro tip for anyone that hasn't tried it yet. Make sure you have full hearts before you go in there because, much like Eventide again, you're just kind of left with nothing except his boxers. And however many hearts you had when you started is what you'll start with in the trial. So the first time I tried it, I didn't even have all full hearts, and I had a few missing. Like, yeah, whatever, I'm sure it'll refill it. No, it won't refill. So you've been warned. It's worth noting that it says there's 45 runes in total. Those are not all at once. It's 3 different trials. So you do the first one, and it's the easy trials, and that's pretty basic. Like, here's land, here's some water, here's some wind, and it ends with It ends with, I believe, was a Hinox fight.
Okay.
And you come out, and it's like, you did it. You've completed the easy trials, and now your Master Sword is a bit stronger. But if you want it to be more stronger, you can go back.
And do level 2.
Yeah. There's 3 levels. I went back for level 2, and that is all, like, wind-based. And it's actually really annoying. And the arrows, like, guys are shooting arrows at you, of course, and they're shooting like bomb arrows and electric arrows. And like, ugh. So I'll get back to that.
Sounds rough.
Yeah. And I haven't gotten, of course, to the hard mode yet because I haven't beaten the medium mode yet, but I'll get to it. Heroes Path, like I said, it's just funny. It's like silly string all over your map. Here's a bunch of green lines all over everything.
I really liked watching because you can replay like what you did at different speeds, and I kind of sat there for like 15 minutes just watching. Oh yeah, I went through here and then I did this, and like, I died 6 times right here. I know exactly why I died. You know, and kind of reliving those memories were kind of cool. But again, it's one of those things like they could have just added that in there.
Oh yeah,
there was no reason. Like, I don't think that we needed to pay for that feature.
No. This is the modern day Nintendo I'm worried about. The one that wants to charge for everything and not let you buy anything because Nintendo.
But the thing that's kind of disappointing is like I felt like they were kind of on a roll with DLC. Like for the past few years, I thought they did a really good job with stuff. Mario Kart had really substantial DLC, even though you had to pay for it. Like, I really liked their tracks and like the designs and stuff. Splatoon, they had tons of free DLC after the fact that just like made the game so much better and more give it more variety. I mean, you could say Fire Emblem. You might hate it, you might love it, but like they had tons of content for that. If you wanted to fork over a couple bucks here and there, like I thought that stuff wasn't overpriced, but I thought Nintendo was doing a really good job with DLC. So, like to see this right now, I'm kind of like, I don't think you hit the mark on this one, Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, for this game, of all games, like this is the one you want the best of.
Yeah, everything.
But it's definitely more like the holdover DLC until the real one comes out.
We just gotta hope the real one is worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. All we can do is hope. No matter the circumstance, there is always hope. Master mode, of course, Austin just talked about that. I'll give it a go at some point if I have the time. I just started Far Cry Primal. That's a really good game, too. It's very similar to this game. And I haven't beat that yet, so I don't know. I'm going to hold off on Master mode for now. I feel it'll be good when I want to go back to the game, but after it's been a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't need to go overboard on Zelda all at once. Travel Medine, very useful. It's like, here's a good spot to be able to warp back to. And that's all it is. You just pick a spot on the map and I can go back there whenever.
You gotta find that too, though, right?
They're all finding everything is stupid and easy. It's just like, here's a thief's diary, of course, once again the diary, and it just tells you like where everything is more or less. Gives you a hint.
Yeah.
But you can just go on Google or whatever and very easily track everything down. Which I would recommend actually for some of them, because there was one that the hint was in a place of great prosperity and commerce or something like that, and the place where you found it was actually a little spot on the map, like a nothing town little spot, one much like that that snow town that was ruined is like that, but like I didn't know it even existed. And certain things on the map aren't even listed until you walk past them and you get the little title in the corner.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been able to find it because I didn't know actually where it was, because it wasn't even on the map. So, long story short, don't feel bad if you want to Google the location of all these random unlockable things. And they kind of all suck. They're not really there for armor perks much as just, hey, here's Majora's Mask. Now you can run around with Majora's Mask. Phantom Armor, Tingle's outfit. They're dumb, but it's cute. Did you see you're getting Link's lobster shirt in the next DLC?
What?
From Wind Waker?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that blue shirt with the lobster that he starts out the game in. That's going to be one of the items.
Servicey.
Yeah. Definitely. And Korok Mask, pretty useful. If you're just running around doing nothing.
Yeah.
It shows you where Koroks are. And yeah, that about does it for our DLC Pack 1 talk. Really, nothing else. Cool. Well, you boys feeling good on our Zelda talk in general?
I think we've said a lot.
Yeah.
We've said a lot about Zelda. There's no doubt.
I'm feeling pretty content with that. The hype has died. I was like, okay, I'm good. Let's move on. So yeah, pretty good game. I think people should try it if they haven't yet.
Yeah, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, you need to play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I hope you don't need to buy a Switch to play it. I say get it on Wii U if you have a Wii U, but Anyways, do what you got to do. All right. This isn't going to be a 4-hour show. We're pretty much done for this episode. We do have some news from the last one. It's 3 months old news. We can look at it real quick. Interesting news if there's time. Had a live action reboot. Was confirmed by YTV. It's a live action reboot of a show that used to be a CG cartoon.
Called Reboot.
It's the reboot. Weird. There's been no news about it since the 3 months ago that they announced it.
I am not psyched at all.
It's something. Austin, have you ever heard of this show? Reboot?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a Canadian thing. It's very much a BC thing because they made those shows in Vancouver. That Shadow Planets, Beast Wars, all of those. They all came from Mainframe Entertainment. I don't know. What can you say? It's weird stuff. Erika back in April did an April Fool's prank where they showed off their characters from the old Street Fighter EX games. They made like a April Fool's Day joke. It was like, look, we made a game, but now it might be real. Has there been any news on this since? I haven't heard anything.
I don't think so.
I forgot all about it. It's just here in my 3-month-old show planner.
I like Street Fighter EX though.
Yeah, those are good characters. Solid designs. It looked really good. Nothing has been brought up about it since though. There's some nonsense with Atlas not wanting people to stream Persona 5. I haven't heard anything about that since. I think they're okay with it now.
No, they're not.
Really?
They updated their little ban, I guess, a month later, saying, okay, we extended it. Now you can play up to this point in the game, but don't stream anything after that. And if you are playing it on PlayStation, which is the only way you can play it, you still can't take screenshots and you still can't record any video.
Really? Wow.
You can only, if you are streaming it, you're only doing it by outside means. You got another device. The game disables all that stuff.
Weird.
I can't believe that it's still disabled now. So like,
yeah,
the system, when you in an update, anytime you get a trophy, it automatically takes a screenshot. So now it's really annoying. Anytime I get a trophy in Persona 5, it's like, trophy earned, cannot take screenshot here. And it's like, God, Atlas, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like some companies just don't get what streaming is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. I kind of understand it because it's sort of like here's a book that you read mostly, and then it's like you can just read it over someone's shoulder now. They don't have to buy it. And I've definitely experienced games where it's like, well, I kind of don't need to play it now because I've watched streams.
I understand it, but I think at this day, time, and place in the world, like, you can't ignore it. You know,
it's pretty weird, especially if it's still going. I figured maybe because it was new at the time, they wanted to just make sure people were buying instead of watching it. But like streaming helps with hype for games. Like it makes just like someone you love watching streaming things is streaming it. And they're like, oh my god, this game's super cool. Now I want to buy it, and then they go off and buy it. But they can't do that now because it's like it's weird.
I was never gonna buy Hello Kitty Airplane Racers until I saw Steve play it, and now I want it.
No, that was Crazy Kart Racers or something.
Yeah. Whatever.
That was fun. I should do more streams like that. Yoshi Knuckles wasn't with me. Like I just had my webcam pointed at the screen. So it was like a let's play with two people, and those people weren't even in the same room. I should do more of those. Who's got the time? Busy out lifestyle. Mad Catz, the company's gone. That's old news. That's too bad. They made good controllers by the end, but I think maybe people knew them as the crummy controllers that they were stuck with on the Nintendo 64 days.
Yeah.
We all remember that one webcomic where the kid's like, yeah, let's play Mario Kart. You get player 2 controller. And he looks at it, it's like this mess. It says Mad Catz, and it gives a disgruntled face. Hard to describe. Funny picture. RIP Mad Catz. I sold my Mad Catz fight stick because it's big and I don't have the space. There's no space. Okay, let's get to some modern news. Just a couple of stories real quick. We don't have to take forever. SNES Classic confirmed. And the world weeps because once again, oh god, here we go.
I mean, it's confirmed, but is it really real? Because I don't think the NES Classic was real.
I held one once.
Yeah.
Steven has one.
You're a liar.
I got it. It's in a plastic baggie.
Yeah, that kills me.
I could hook it up. I don't want to. I played it once.
See, I held one once. When I held mine, I was like, you know what? They're going to be in stock all the time. I'm going to get it later.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. Dumb.
Worst mistake ever.
Look, do you
Worst
see this
mistake
stack
ever.
of PS4 and Xbox One games? I don't need to replay games I've played before. I got so many games. I gotta find out why those hillbillies in that Resident Evil house are immortal. It's a virus, isn't it? It's always a virus. Dragon Quest Builders, Austin. I've got that now. I haven't started it.
I like that game.
I gotta play more Far Cry Primal. I got Forza for Xbox. Gonna play that. Senran Kagura. I gotta start that up. Last Guardian. Oh, never enough time today. But yeah, anyways, SNES Classic. Oh god, I sure hope it's not quite as horrible to find.
Yep.
We've all
I
seen
want one of those.
we've all seen the resellers already trying to sell their pre-orders on eBay and all this nonsense.
bastards.
Apparently, they were cracking down on that a bit, so that's good.
I think there'll be more SNES Classics, but I don't think there are going to be enough SNES
Yes.
Classics.
Exactly.
It's super cool. It's got Star Fox 2,
No.
which is weird, but it's cool. It's not going to hold up. People are going to be like, this game is awful because Mode 7 was pretty awful for the most part. It was cool. It's good if you have nostalgia goggles.
Yep.
I don't know, though. Amazing lineup of games, certainly. I definitely want one. I will buy one if I find one. But
Almost
it's just,
perfect. I think they missed a couple big ones, but that's my opinion.
it's just got the stink of just modern Nintendo. Just like, oh, God.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like about Nintendo. That's why I bought a PS4 and an Xbox One. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. If this is how you're going to keep treating your customers, your fans, the fanboys, all of this. Just they've announced. They say it's a placeholder, but Mario Odyssey and whatever Fire Emblem, whatever, coming out $99.99
Yeah.
price. I mean, no. I like Mario. Good game, sure, but no, that's
No.
fine. I got other games. Poi. Austin, have you seen Poi on the PlayStation Network? That's Mario. It's just a Mario game. We don't need Nintendo to play Mario games. It looks awful, like graphics-wise, but the gameplay, that's Mario.
Yeah. Don't need Mario.
Anyways, I don't know. Odyssey does look cool. Catchy song. You gotta be everything. You put your hat on stuff, like in that Ape Escape game we didn't get on PSP.
I love it. It looks amazing. I love it. I'm just kidding.
Hope...
I need Mario. I can't not have Mario. Sorry, Steve.
Maybe by the time I get around to wanting to Switch, there'll be a bundle with that and Mario Odyssey. That'd be good.
That'd be a nice bundle.
If you can actually find it in stores. Amiibos, like haven't seen a new Amiibo in months. It's ridiculous. And of course, E3 happened. We really don't need to spend any time at all on this. If anyone has any games they want to shout out, though, anything you're looking forward to in E3?
A Way Out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad that I didn't like Brothers as much as everyone else.
I loved Brothers, but on top of loving Brothers, A Way Out is a game that, like, in my mind, I've literally been saying, I want to make this game, or I want somebody to make this game where, like, two people have to play the game cooperatively, and like what this guy's doing affects my game, and like that basically like what A Way Out is. So I basically feel like they made the game that I've wanted people to make for like 10 years.
That's cool. I'm sure there are other indie games that have done it, but they just didn't have like the platform of E3 like Electronic Arts did. I'm sure I've seen on Steam random PC games attempt something like that, but
also just like not the style. I mean, like there's co-op games where it's like, yeah, he's got to hit the switch over here so I can get past the door. But like in this way, in the style, A Way Out just looks so good and so interesting. You know, like how it's presented is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I've seen lots of games.
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt. It's so important just having like that uniqueness to your game. Like Poi, for example, like if it at least looked good, I'd be tempted because hey, it's like Mario, but it doesn't look good. I don't want it. If it's like
Right.
$5, maybe I'll buy it. Anyways, Anthem. People seem really excited about Anthem. I watched the thing. It's like, yeah, third party. You know, people in mechs, but not really. Kind of, open world. Meh.
Mm-hmm. It looks cool, but
good.
yeah, it's.
I need to see more. Need to see a lot more.
I'm looking forward to the Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Yes, they remake that
Totally
game so
into
many
that.
times.
Yeah.
It's because of The Last Guardian performing like it did. I'm just going down a list here, looking at Microsoft stuff. Did they show much of anything? Not really. Sea of Thieves kind of looked cool. If you can find people to play with.
It was a pretty boring or lackluster E3, I think, this year.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of surprises. Like, looking back, I thought what they showed was decent.
Kinda tame.
Some gameplay, some games, some stuff's coming out, whatever. But, like, yeah, it wasn't as exciting as it usually is.
No, it was just like, yep, we got some games. Here are some games. You knew these games were coming. Here's the games.
Yeah. Here's more of what you knew. I kind of thought like Microsoft did a better show than Sony, which is surprising. Because I used to kind of hate Microsoft just in a fanboy way, but now like I've got a 1 and a 360 and all the time. I don't need to be biased on anything anymore. Except Nintendo, because they just don't provide us with a product. And that really bugs me. Especially for Canadians, because we have to deal with this price hike nonsense as well. But I found a PS4 and an Xbox One real easy, and the controllers are good, games good, hard drives not big enough, but that's just a sign of the times. Everything needs to be installed, but it doesn't run off the disc. It's really weird, but it needs the disc in the thing.
That pisses me off.
I don't understand that at all. But Bethesda, what did they do? There was not much there. Evil Within 2.
Wolfenstein.
Once again, I'm not feeling any hype for that, and I watched the thing, and I'm happy you're hyped. I know, I don't get it.
I'm real hyped.
Evil Within 2 looked a lot more interesting. A lot of wax monsters. That's cool. Some people thought it looked like milk. That's funny, but no, it's obviously wax. Zelda Breath of the Wild amiibo works with Skyrim. That looks questionable. Devolver Digital did a weird thing. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. Not really, but kind of funny. Ubisoft. See, we're just flying. I could do a whole HYPECAST episode on E3. I don't know if I'm gonna bother though. Busy man. Rabbids, Mario and Rabbids. That's interesting.
Meh.
Yeah. We'll need to see more once again. It's weird. Starlink. I'm really excited about that. It's the I love me some Toys to Life. You get to play with spaceships and put them on your controller. That's kind of cool.
I thought about you when I saw that.
Yeah. I bet you did. And we mentioned on the Toycast last night, but there's this thing called Light Keepers or something where it's the Toys to Life. It's not dead. You think it should be dead, but they're still coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
Overpriced. But like,
I mean, kids are always going to want toys. So.
Oh yeah. Or adult kids. Sony, real quick. Shot more Days Gone. Yeah, it looks like The Last of Us. God of War. I'm sure Will's hyped for that.
Yeah, Days Gone though is the game that I couldn't be less excited for.
Yeah, same
it's
thing.
I feel like nobody's excited for it. Why do they keep showing it?
True. See, it's because of games like that people love Nintendo so much. Because Nintendo just wants to make fun things happen. And then you got this like, oh, it's people. They're all serious. Oh, it's the end of the world. Lots of end of the world going on. Maybe I skipped it, but the Metro game coming out looks cool. Ripped off 28 Days Later soundtrack, but looks cool. I want to play that. Uncharted, meh. Gran Turismo, meh. Detroit, Horizon. More Horizon. People love Horizon Zero Dawn. That's definitely on my to playlist. And now
that's on my to playlist too. So
yeah,
I'm sure I'll be more hyped when I play the game because I've heard very good things about it. But
when I was on that Cartridge Club Zelda episode, one of the guys that they brought on was talking more about that game than Zelda. It's kind of funny because he said it was better than Breath of the Wild. He kept wanting to bring that up. And it's like, we're on a Zelda show, but I'm sure it's good. Looks good.
I don't agree.
Lots of PlayStation VR. No one cares. Who Does everyone care about VR? Is that just gonna die? I think it's gonna die.
I think everybody's done with it already.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Everyone wake up. Monster Hunter World announced. Oh boy, I'm gonna need PlayStation Plus for that. Big changes for anyone like myself that knows Monster Hunter. Like, that is interesting. It's risky. Like, this is a game that's very set in its ways, and those ways are early PS2 controls and gameplay style. But this is a modern Monster Hunter game, and I'm very excited to crack into that and see exactly what they've got. Once again, I could do a whole episode on Monster Hunter World. Marvel vs. Capcom, people hate it because it's not Dragon Ball. That Dragon Ball game,
looks so good.
Get hyped for Dragon Ball. But everyone's been complaining about Marvel vs. Capcom. Don't like the characters, say it looks gross. I don't know. I've never been a big versus Capcom versus Marvel fan. I like versus Capcom. Please bring me Capcom versus SNK 3. That's what I want. Once again, just speed rolling through this because this show is about to end. Nintendo did some things. They did some good things. Mario Odyssey, Kirby Yoshi. Those Kirby Yoshi games look good.
Yep. Standard, but good.
Yeah, true. Metroid, finally back. Fanboys cried
In 2
tears
games?
of joy. Yep, 2 Metroids.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. The Metroid 2 remake has me psyched. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. For anyone that actually listens to this program, let me know over on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, if you want me to do more in-depth discussion of E3. Because like I said, we're just flying through. We're busy adult men. Austin has a kid. We don't hear anymore, so who knows where the kid is? Could be on the roof of his house. We don't know. Essex is about to catch fire, and I don't know. I might go to Langford just because there's stores there. That's a place by Victoria. More Pokemon. Yep, no one surprise there. Metroid 2: Return of Samus. Kind of funny because of the whole AM2R thing they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's kind of funny they actually did have a Samus 2 or a Metroid 2 in development. I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah, maybe it was in development. Maybe they just lit the fire under their asses. I don't know. And yeah, that's cool. E3, blah blah blah. More stuff. Ace Combat 7. That's cool. Shadow Classes, like we said. Yep, I'm definitely gonna. That's probably a day one purchase. Senran and Kagura Peach Beach Splash coming out. Definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's wrap this up. Everyone, we can give it another chance to pimp your shows, whatnots, and just let us know what you're looking forward to next. Austin, start us off, please.
All right. Yeah, I'm Austin. You can find me on Twitter, AesopBeef, AESOPB3EF. You can go to AverageJoeGaming.com and check out our podcast there with my buddies Will and Brian. Mm-hmm. You can follow that whole group on Twitter at AverageJoeGaming, no G on the end. Twitch is AverageJoeGaming, something like that. Average underscore Joe underscore gaming, something like that. I don't know. You can find us. Yeah. No,
I'm sure the website will have links.
That's what it is. He changed it. It's Average Joe Gaming Live, all one word. Yeah. And yeah, as far as upcoming stuff, Mario Rabbids is coming out in August, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's that excited a moment ago.
It was kind of breaking up, so I didn't really hear what you guys said.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, for me.
Okay.
This month is Splatoon, so I'm pretty excited for Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. You know,
right.
Finishing Persona 5, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
In the next couple months.
Nice. Any plans for Average Joe? Is he in a coma again, or do you think he'll be back for more?
We'll be doing more stuff eventually. I really think after I get married and like have some more money and income and like time a little bit, then we'll be able to do a little bit more.
I know, it sucks. All the old gods are dying. Speaking of the Courage Club group, I've been teasing some of the members on Twitter because all of the original people, like same idea, like group of people from those sort of places, just coming together, talking about whatever games of the month they're playing and all that. But a lot of the people that were there at the start are kind of fading away now. There's this guy J-Rock, the game marker, who's been on the Hypecast before, and it's like, where's J-Rock? We don't see him that much anymore. He used to do a video like every day, just like a little like blog thing. It's like, oh, good old J-Rock video, and now he's gone, and it's sad. Everyone's old and boring.
Yeah.
Animal. All right, very good. Well, thanks for being here today, Austin, and thank you for catching up with this episode. We can finally close the book on Zelda for the moment. It's never closed, though. Great game. Always more to do.
Yep.
And Essex, want to give folks, again, a quick shout-out to Twitter and what you've been playing, what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, it's Twitter and Instagram at SXAlpha as always. And again, you can find me on Toycast whenever we decide to do it.
Yep.
Here on this channel. You've already found it, I'm guessing. And yeah, I'm really have to just dive into my Dark Souls 3 DLC. Been meaning to hit the Ring City for a while and haven't done it yet. So that's what I'll be playing when I get a little bit more free time, which looks like it'll be almost 0 coming up for the next couple weeks here, but we'll see.
Damn. Well, at least you got over some recent hurdles, so it sounds like you're a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just go.
Health is getting better. Job is getting better. Took care of some issues. Life is good.
Very good. Well, thank you for being here today. And of course, I am Steven. Looking forward. My list from 3 months ago is still pretty accurate. Outlast 2, I still need to play that. Still looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah. It's easy to put off, especially when it's on console, because I know I want that trilogy. There's like a PS4 disc or Xbox disc where it's all the Outlast together.
Yeah.
I need that. Rhyme, I still want to play that. Pray for the Gods, that's still not out yet, so that's definitely on the list. Transformers movie, I haven't seen that yet. This list is still active.
Nope.
Alien movie, I haven't seen the latest Alien movie yet. That's coming out on Blu-ray mid-August, so I'm looking forward to that. Toy Show and Retro Gaming Expo, those have happened. Can't tell you about those. And yeah, more Far Cry Primal. I'd like to get more into that, and of course more Breath of the Wild. And I was looking into maybe doing a new movie cast, kind of like what we do with the Toy Cast, but it's with movies. Not a very long show, but just fun to call people up and say, hey, want to talk about a movie? So looking forward to some of that. And yeah, I think that about does it. Steven Eider on Twitter, Steven with VEIDHER. Check me out here on YouTube. Watch my videos. Check me out streaming games live on Twitch, CAPMAX_gaming. And I think that about does it for this episode. Gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And believe it or not, there was no crashes or anything. I am impressed and amazed.
Me too.
Yep, we made it.
It's incredible. Incredible.
Even me through the fire and the flames.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there you go. That was CAPMAX Hypecast episode 23. Check it out live on when we stream it, or listen to it in the audio edited version, which really won't be edited all that much. I just throw in a couple of music tracks at the start and the end. Not even the mid one, because we didn't take a recess. That's incredible. So,
Wow.
yeah, no. I didn't need to use the washroom. That's the good thing about not having a coffee beforehand. I don't need to take recesses.
Well, I got to use one now.
There you go. Let's check it out, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.